Hey Aries, it's Suzanne with Sunny Forest Tarot. Welcome to part 4, Thursday, of your series. Okay, so I have done a part 1, part 2, and part 3. If you haven't seen that, you might want to check those out. But if you just see this one, hey, no problem. All right, so this might be a continuation of a story for you, or this might be a brand new situation. All right, so we'll see how it goes. I'm finding that there is a link to part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4 for most signs, but they don't have to be linked. All right, so we're going to start again with a Lenormand card, okay, around the situation. Okay, and we're also going to use a new deck for part 4. All right, so here we have the situation. Here we have what you're manifesting in that situation, the details of this situation, and then finally the guidance when it comes to this particular situation. All right, so let's see. What do we have here for the Lenormand card? All right, so we've got a significant woman who is looking towards the future. So this, if you are a woman or a feminine, okay, then this is you. If you are the masculine, then this might be about a specific woman or feminine for you. Okay, so it's a situation about a woman in the future, or that you want in your future. All right, and then we have 10 of Cups. Okay, so if you are the feminine here, you are looking directly at complete emotional fulfillment. All right, that's what this situation is about. All right, so this does feel like a culmination in some way of what we've been seeing, because we've been talking about the key to your heart. We've been talking about your heart's desire, the fact that you might feel more comfortable. Emperor, card of Aries, that's you. You might feel more comfortable when you are in control of a situation. And like we talked about in an earlier reading in part 2, I believe, is that this is about surrendering to what your heart desires. So this is about complete emotional fulfillment with a particular feminine that you want to see in your future. Or if you are the feminine, okay, this is about you looking directly at emotional fulfillment in the future here. And then we have what you're manifesting, which is, wow, 4 of Wands. Now, in part 3, we talked about needing to take basically a change in direction, like doing a 180, which would take you from blocking your heart to opening up your heart. Okay, and now in the manifesting position, we've got this 4 of Wands, which goes hand in hand with 10 of Cups, which is, this is about long-term commitment. This is about, possibly a reunion, possibly somebody that you see yourself with long-term. All right, whether it's a marriage or not. Okay, this is also a twin flame card. This is a twin flame card, so you might be dealing with a twin flame, or some type of special soul connection. All right, so what are the details around this? 8 of Cups. Wow. 8 of Cups. So 8 of Cups, is about walking away from something that you love. So I feel like this is not necessarily about you doing this right now, but I feel like it's about addressing that this is might be how you handled something that you considered complete emotional fulfillment or something long term. I feel like this is how you've handled it in the past. You know, instead of sticking around and, you know, adding that 9th cup, which is wish fulfillment, so you can move into 10 of cups, emotional fulfillment. You know, this is where you have gotten stuck in the past at 8 of cups. It's like you're almost there. You're almost to where you want to be. And it's like right before you have it in your grasp, you let it go and you walk away. And you do that because you probably feel out of control emotionally. And it's easier to walk away. Okay? The guidance here, what do we have? Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like we have seen Ace of Pentacles this week for you. This is about getting really, really clear on what it is that you want, what it is that you want to offer, who you want to offer, okay? You know, what you want to share about yourself. You know, I feel like this is about giving 100% and being comfortable with it. I feel like this is Spirit saying, if you give 100% of yourself, it feels like you receive complete emotional fulfillment and something that you can stick with long term. It's when you only give that 20% of yourself, that's when things tend to fall apart. When you're only giving 20% of yourself in different situations, it allows you to feel in control, okay? Because other people might be giving more to you, so that makes you feel in control. So giving 100% of yourself and doing it intentionally, that is what allows you to surrender and open up to your heart's desire. You get that? You might want to watch that twice. All right, so let's see. All right, so what do we want to look at here? We definitely want to look at, I want to look at 10 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles first. All right, so 10 of Cups, we have, look at that, Sun. So this can be a Leo. You might find complete emotional happiness with a Leo, okay, or another fire sign. But, you know, you are looking at right now, you know, complete emotional happiness with a particular feminine, or as the feminine, you know, you are looking at complete emotional happiness and joyfulness, perhaps in committing yourself 100%. What is this 100%? Ace of Pentacles, High Priestess. So High Priestess, clarifying the Ace of Pentacles, it's like, I feel like we saw this card as well in the past. I feel like we almost saw it here. Remember, whatever you keep behind the veil, which is where the deepest part of you is, that's what you're finally sharing or able to share. That's what you need to share in order to find this complete emotional happiness and joyfulness in your life in the future. It's sharing what's behind the veil, what you keep hidden. When you only share that 20% of yourself, there's a lot behind the veil that people never get to see, okay? And when people don't get to see that, they don't get to see, you know, who you are as a whole, who you are authentically. So people may not respond to you or respond to the 20% that you give the same way that they're going to respond to the 100% that you give. you end up walking away from things you love because you don't share enough of yourself, of your authentic self that's behind that veil. Okay? All right, so let's look at that Four of Wands. Four of Wands. And then we have, look at that, we have the Nine of Swords. Remember, this is what you're manifesting. So you're manifesting being able to commit long term. What could screw you up a little bit is how you're thinking about commitment. You might struggle with long-term commitment, even though what this is telling me here, that you're trying to manifest a long-term commitment, but you're equally worried about a long-term commitment, or maybe how a long-term commitment is going to look in your life, how it's going to show up. Let's get one more on the Nine of Swords. You're worried about that. And then we've got the Four of Swords. So we've got two cards that are heavily in that energy of thinking. And thinking or overthinking something that, is trying to feel really good. But you might have a tendency to mess things up by overthinking them or allowing negative thoughts to come in. This is definitely a future energy. So you've got to be really careful about your thoughts and what it is that you're thinking right now, because if you overthink, we already know that you have a tendency to, right before you get to where you want to be, or right before you achieve a wish fulfilled, you tend to walk away. Okay, you tend to walk away from something that you love or you thought you loved. Okay, and that's, again, I feel like that's what's trying to be the past energy. But this is what leads you to that. Overthinking is what leads you to walk away from something that you love. That's what you have to be mindful of more than anything else. So let's look at this past energy of Eight of Cups. And then we have King of Cups. We have seen the King of Cups in this series. It came up right there, okay, in guidance. And the guidance, I feel like, was about being able to share your cup of love, to surrender control and share your cup of love. Look at that. It's like there's the cup that is missing here in that Eight of Cups. That cup allows you wish fulfillment, so King of Cups plus Eight of Cups equals Nine of Cups, and then 10 of Cups is in the future, which is complete emotional fulfillment. Okay, so this kind of comes full circle. So the cards that have shown up twice for you were the King of Cups, we had the 10 of Wands first. We then had the Eight of Cups. We had a lot of cards show up twice for you. We had the Nine of Wands twice. And then I think, and then we had Ace of Pentacles. Woo, we had a lot. What else? We had Nine of Wands show up, I think, 3 times. I want to say that the High Priestess came up before, but maybe not. Okay. And then King of Cups. All right, so this is the overarching message here. First, we had 10 of Wands, and 10 of Wands showed up twice. And that is, I feel like, the burden of the past that you carry because of you have a need to be in control. And that need for control actually is a heavy burden for you, whether you realize it or not. So the answer to that is to surrender to the universe, surrender to what is behind the veil for you, okay? 8 of Cups. Because if you don't, what ends up happening is you get to a certain point, it's like you're almost there. You always feel like you almost are where you want to be. And that's when you end up walking away from something that you love, which ultimately has created a cautiousness in you, a fear in you, where, you know what? You're giving 20% to this person, 20% to this person, 20% to this person. You're not giving 100% to anybody because you have a fear that ultimately nobody is going to give 100% back to you. But here we have the advice. This came up once in the details and once in the guidance about giving your 100%, being intentional about what it is that you give to other people, because when you give it, you will receive it back tenfold. And what it is that you need to give is that last beautiful cup right there in that 8 of Cups, so you aren't walking away from things that you love anymore. Okay? You have that cup. You're in control. But it's when you surrender your cup of love, that Ace of Cups, is when you feel ultimately most in control and you move towards your wish fulfillment and your ultimate happiness. All right? All right, so let's get some oracle cards for you. Let's do one of these. And let's do one of these. And one of these. Okay, so let's get the overall message from Spirit for Aries for this week. Message from the universe for Aries. Okie doke. All right, so what do we have here? All right, so we have busy times and multitasking. Oh my gosh, if that doesn't talk about Aries or explain who Aries is. Multitasking, that's that 20% that I'm talking about. Giving 20% to this, 20% to that, 20% to this person. But, you know, who is it that you're giving 100% to? You know, maybe it's you have to give it to yourself first. Take charge of your schedule during this busy time and honestly assess your underlying reasons for being busy, right? What are your intentions for being busy? Is it to protect yourself from not giving too much to any one thing or too much to any one person? What do we have here? Worth. You have been worthy to belong to love all along, without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. So by making yourself very busy, you know, prevents you sometimes from showing your full worth, you know, what's behind that veil for you. And sharing that 100% of the love that you actually are. And then finally, we have the activated ally. So, you know, we've got the number 9 here. You know, we've seen a lot of 9s in your reading. This is about you. It's like, I feel like your activated ally is your higher self. Your higher self giving you specific messages here about not needing to control a situation, not allowing yourself to feel controlled by a situation, but ultimately gaining control through surrender. Okay, that's your activated ally, is surrender. All right, Aries, that is what I have for you for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking for a deeper, more personal reading, certainly reach out. If not, no worries. I will talk to you next time. All right, thanks so much. Bye.